It's a little bit of kinks within that story. It's not the conventional story, but nonetheless, it's very captivating, very entertaining. First of all, I want to say congratulations. You guys are going to hear a lot of horns going off. I want to give a shout out and congratulations to Blueface and Chrisean Rock on the new baby boy, the new addition to the family. All right. Facts though. Big up to Chrisean Rock and big up to Blueface. Now, if you guys were not aware, Chrisean Rock recently just gave birth to a new baby boy. Oh boy. Now, usually you guys, when you're having a baby, you expect for all parties to be inside the hospital when she's going into labor or actually when the baby's there. Now, keep in mind, sometimes we're not able to make it to the hospital in time. Us men, I don't know how your life is situated, how your life is structured, but sometimes it's not that easy to get there in place, especially if you haven't prepared properly, especially when there's not enough communication going back and forth, enough good communication. And it seems like they suffer from that. All right, so what I'm alluding to is Chrisean Rock gave birth. Shout out to her again. Chrisean Rock gave birth, but somebody was not in attendance. Somebody that you would expect to be in attendance, like the father, like Blueface, was not in attendance when the baby was born. Now, according to Chrisean Rock, it was all subsequential. It was not deliberate, right? Chrisean Rock was in Baltimore. Chrisean Rock's originally from Baltimore, in which she chose to have the baby in Baltimore. Now, she's saying that it was subsequential. I don't know, for some reason, she was in the area, she was in the state, she had some reason to be there. It wasn't deliberate, meaning she did not mean to not have the baby in LA, in California, with Blueface in proximity, right? She actually flew back home, Baltimore, where they say music and gear. They speak a little bit different in Baltimore. All right. With that being said, she flew back to Baltimore. She was home with her family. Chrisean Rock went home with her family, her mother. Though the family, you've seen the arguments and stuff like that. You guys keep in mind, you might see people arguing online, family members arguing online, but keep in mind, when the shit hits the fan, family usually comes back together. So no matter how disruptive it seems, no matter how much it appears to be malfunctioning, how broken it appears, family will come through in the clutch at times. And it seems like this was the case with Blueface and Chrisean. Now, the question is, well, there's a lot of people on both sides of the spectrum with this one. All right, so once again, Chrisean Rock flew back to Baltimore, in which she went into labor. She had a beautiful baby boy. Now, she had a couple people in attendance. It looks like she had her godmother in attendance, which was surprising. Chrisean has I don't know if it's an adopted family, a godparents, but it's a one white lady and a black man. Oh, no, excuse me, a white man, I think, or they might be both white, I'm not sure. But one of them is Caucasian. She was partially raised by a Caucasian couple. All right. Now, that couple was in attendance. Chrisean's sisters were in attendance. Chrisean's family was in attendance. Chrisean's little brother was around her during the pregnancy. All right. Now, which is a great thing. You know she needs some type of support. But the question is, was it deliberate? Did Chrisean deliberately leave Blueface out of the scenario? All right. Now, with that being said, Blueface seemingly was disappointed. Blueface himself, Blueface was in Miami. He was on our side. He was on our side of things. All right. Blueface is in Miami, and I think he's with his baby mother, the first original baby mother, Alexa. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with the name. You guys don't expect me always to have the names correct, because these people are not that relevant, other than it's really so much their story that's relevant. A lot of times we speak about these people, they're not that relevant in my life, right? Nonetheless, they're still, you know what I'm saying, they still God's child, you know. They still deserve their respect. They're relevant in God's eyes, no matter how irrelevant they are to me. But what I'm trying to say, sometimes I do forget their names, all right? So Blueface's first baby mother, he's in Miami with her. So according to Blueface, he was out of pocket. He was out of range, right? He was in Miami. Now, Chrisean Rock had this baby in Baltimore. Now, immediately, as soon as Chrisean Rock had the baby, she went online. Chrisean Rock is seen online with the baby. Chrisean Rock is seen with multiple people holding the baby in their hand. Whoa. Chrisean Rock had multiple people holding Blueface, a newborn baby child. Now, we have to approach this carefully because anytime you guys see on L.O.T.S approved media, anytime I'm speaking about children, I always make sure that I'm careful in speaking about children, right? These are delicate psyche, et cetera, et cetera. So we will approach this with a little bit of caution, right? Show some type of respect to Chrisean and her situation and the child. But nonetheless, Chrisean was seen with multiple people holding Blueface's child, in which Blueface did complain about that. Blueface is on his side of things, and Blueface complained about Chrisean Rock having multiple people holding his child. Now, when I'm seeing this through Instagram, right? Social network, like everybody else is seeing, right? I'm seeing on social network, I'm seeing Chrisean Rock. She had the baby, in which you see multiple people caressing and cradling the baby. All right. You guys know there's a germ factor there. You don't want multiple spiritual. There's a lot of different things. You don't want a newborn baby to come into contact with human beings and different peoples of different walks of life that expose themselves to certain things, and therefore subsequently is going to expose whatever they're going through. The baby shall be exposed subsequently, inadvertently, to that also. So that's what you're trying to prevent. You don't want a newborn child constantly around new people, in which that was the case. All right. Also, Blueface had a couple valid complaints. We got to really unpack this. All right. So first of all, Blueface spoke about multiple people holding the baby. All right. Also, you see Chrisean already created an Instagram for the baby. Now, me, myself, I don't really see nothing wrong. I don't know if you guys see anything wrong with a newborn child having an Instagram, but nonetheless, the child does have an Instagram. It's almost at 1 million followers. All right. Blueface, he found something wrong with that. Now, ironically enough, Chrisean Rock is complaining about Blueface's clout chasing. All right. Chrisean Rock feels that Blueface is clout chasing, that Blueface basically is making it a social network thing. He's monetizing the whole experience, in which she feels like that's not genuine. So Chrisean Rock is accusing Blueface of trying to monetize and clout chase the birth of the child, as well as her exploiting her, right? Nonetheless, I don't know if she's right about that. I could agree with her a little bit. Maybe I don't agree with her but you guys both, they signed up for this. But nonetheless, ironically enough, Chrisean Rock has capitalized off of the baby. Chrisean Rock now has the baby with an Instagram. Okay. She's constantly showing pictures of the baby. So she somewhat has monetized the baby also. All right. Now, that's not the only factor with Chrisean Rock and Blueface. But Blueface has made some valid points about this whole situation. All right. Now, not to be long-winded, but there's something big about this situation. All right. Blueface, now, you would think as a father, the baby would be named after you, that you have a son. You expect that if you have a child with a woman and the child is going to be a junior, you expect the child to be named after you as a man, traditionally, right? Traditionally. But now in these days and times, everything is not traditional, obviously, right? So now, Chrisean Rock went as far as to name the child after herself. Now, Blueface's name is Jonathan. All right? This is a male child. She went as far as to name the child Chrisean Rock. Now, hold up. I've seen children, I've seen men named. There's some names out here that men and women can use, right? I don't know how you would call that, unisex names, like for example, a Stacy. I've seen women named Stacy. I've seen men named Stacy. All right. So with that being said, this looks like that's one of those situations. But most importantly, what I'm trying to get to is there was a lot of despiteful things that took place. What's up, Tosh in the building? Shout out to everybody in the building. What's up, Tosh? Shout out to Rudolph Ballmere. Shout out to Planet Goddamn It in the building. Facts though. All right. You guys, we on right now. I know you guys expecting me to come on at 7, but we know we come on at different times. Nonetheless, I like to see you guys are checking in. All right. So now, Blueface, Chrisean Rock named the child after herself. Guys, this is what we need to get to. All right. There's tradition. There's tradition out here, right? rightfully so. Women, first of all, she took the baby and flew to Baltimore and had the baby unbeknownst to Blueface. Blueface probably seen this probably off of social network, knowing that his baby mother was actually having his child. All right. Then she went as far as to name the child. She went as far as to name the child after herself. So Chrisean Rock flew to Baltimore to be with her family. Not that bad. Actually named the child after herself. All right. And monetized the child. As so far, she's monetized the child also. Chrisean Rock has a Instagram for the child. So you named the child after yourself. You had the child privately. And you monetized the child without the father's permission or awareness. Blueface was not aware of this. He's finding this out through Instagram. When it seems like when Blueface is figuring this out, it's at the same time we're figuring it out when it's coming off of the internet. All right. So this, when you're looking at this, it seems like Chrisean Rock definitely got Blueface. I don't know what y'all think. You guys let me know how you feel. But how I'm looking at it is Chrisean Rock, she kind of won. Blueface, I'm not gonna lie to you, Jonathan, Chrisean Rock kind of won in this situation. All right. We gotta unpack this. All right, so you're looking at the timeline. You meet this girl. You brought this girl into your world, blues girls. You stamped the girl. You co-signed the girl. You clouded Chrisean up. Now, throughout your journey, the relationship with Blueface and Chrisean is kind of weird because Blueface approaches it kind of like a pimp. Blueface approaches the baby mothers like a pimp. But the thing is, it's kind of, I'm not going to go as far. I'm going to fall back on that because I like Blueface. I'm not going to condemn. I kind of like Blueface. And Blueface is young. So guys, keep in mind, these are young people that are having these experiences. So us older people that are much wiser, we can't really be so judgmental in reference to these younger kids. All right. So Blueface is still a kid. All right. He's still young. He's not a kid per se, but he's still young. Plenty room for mistakes. All right. So with that being said, Blueface is under this impression that he's a pimp. And Blueface is mixing pleasure. He's mixing business with pleasure. All right. You're having babies with your business. You got your dick in the register. There's a term out here, keep your dick out the register. That's a term that I always heard as a child while we hustling. Make sure the term keep your dick out of the register means when you're doing whatever you're doing, try not to mix business with pleasure. When you're dealing with business has to be as stable as possible. You don't want business to be volatile. You don't want business to be unpredictable, unstable. And when you add in pleasure to business, pleasure being a woman, you're dealing with an emotional vessel. So with emotions is like the ocean. You can't really tell how the tidal waves, how they're going to crash at times, right? It's kind of hard to predict how the waves are going to go, right? Because you're dealing with a big ocean with a lot of motion. And that's how women are. So you got to be careful when mixing business with pleasure because your business will become unstable when you stick your dick in the register. That's a lesson to you guys, all right? You deal with emotions. All right, so with that being said, Chrisean Rock, she named the child after herself. All right, Blueface. Now, Blueface, let's fast forward this. All right, so now Blueface is screaming, he doesn't want to see nobody holding his child, which Blueface is not wrong. Nobody should be holding Blueface's child. I'm going to be real with you. He's not wrong for that. Chrisean Rock flying to have the child on her own. I'm not arguing with Chrisean Rock about that. You know what I mean? Because to be honest with you, they both seemingly did not want to have this child, right? In my mind, you guys, they're young. So I'm not faulting them for having skepticism about having a child, all right? Being skeptical, knowing about their relationship, how strong their relationship was, with all the things that are take in consideration with their relationship, with infidelity, mistrust, and disloyalty. There's a lot of that in Chrisean Rock and Blueface's relationship. Though Chrisean has a lot of Blueface's tattoo, that doesn't mean loyalty necessarily, right? It could be obsession. It could be, she could just be obsessed with Blueface. And there's a lot of validity to that because she went as far as to have a child, the guy, and she's willing to erase him. But I'm not going to say that in the beginning because you got to give him a little time. Chrisean Rock is doing a lot of things, but I'm not sure if Chrisean Rock is going to be able to stand on stand on everything that she's saying, because she's making some big decisions that are Chrisean Rock's gonna face some type of repercussions for the decision that she's made with Blueface and that child, nonetheless. And I don't know from here. I don't know where this is gonna go, but we're praying, we hoping. Yeah, we pray here. We hoping that Chrisean Rock and Blueface can get this resolved. All right, because there is a child involved. All right, Chrisean Rock and Blueface on the business level, that has deteriorated. Chrisean Rock and Blueface are no longer going to be doing business together. And there's no possibility of a relationship. And I'm saying here on L.O.T.S approved media, all right? Don't shoot the messenger. There's no really, they're not going to be able to reconcile. Chrisean Rock and Blueface are not going to be able to reconcile. All right. This is probably the ending of their romantic relationship, just to be honest. But nonetheless, I want to give shout out to Blueface. Shout out to Chrisean Rock on the new baby. Shout out to Blueface with the new baby, the new addition. He already has 2 childs with the prior baby mother. I see him doing stuff with the new baby mother. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully things can go right. Hopefully things will go right. All right. Now, that's enough about that Blueface and Chrisean Rock. Oh, and shout out to Chrisean Rock. She had over 130,000, damn near 200,000 people in the building on Instagram on her live after she had that baby, or during when she was pushing the baby. So not to extend the subject, but Chrisean Rock, Blueface created something that he can't stop. Chrisean Rock right now is bigger than Blueface. And it's just evident. It is what it is, and he has to move on. Chrisean Rock is loved beyond hip-hop. Chrisean Rock has a fan base that extends beyond hip-hop. All right? Blueface introduced her to that fan base, as well as she introduced Blueface to that fan base, but they're more in favor of Chrisean Rock. When you look at Blueface's comment section, Chrisean Rock's followers are all in his comment section, spam his comment section. All right. So she has a fan base. Chrisean Rock is she's big. She's a big deal right now. All right. But enough about that. Moving on. Guys, we gotta give a big shout out. I am the street general, the elected, all right, the appointed. Just to reset the building, this is the Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast, episode number 53. This is powered by L.O.T.S approved media. I'm the incomparable, the author imitated but cannot be duplicated, the one they took their style from, the street elected, appointed. All right, I'm the one that keeps creating, the one that, and they just keep taking it. That part. You guys, once again, make sure you guys are hitting that like button when you come in the building. Now I want to give a big, yo, bring the horns out for me. Bring the horns out, bring the guns out, bring the guns out, drop the bomb, drop a definite bomb. Yo, listen, BG is home. Cash Money